What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. January is over. February is here. If we were to put all 12 months in a Royal Rumble, since it just passed, easily February would eliminate January. January just didn't have too much music. Towards the end, we got Migos, we got Kalani, and we got a couple other releases throughout the month, but overall it was very dry compared to what February is going to bring us. So here is my list for the most anticipated albums dropping in February 2017, starting with this Friday, February 3rd. We are going to kick things off with Big Sean's I Decided. I feel like I've talked about this album so much that there's really nothing else for me to say that wouldn't be repeating myself. I've talked about the concept of him finding success in a second life after wishing for it in a past life, and I want to see how that plays out for the music, for the entire album. I think listening to some of the singles, you still can't get that whole idea of where he's taking this concept. You got a skit at the end of halfway off the balcony, but it doesn't really indicate what's going to happen. Like, is the entire concept going to be carried out through these skits, or is the music going to be reflective of the concept? I have no clue. We'll know in a few days. You have Eminem, you have The Dream, you have Migos, you have a few other guests on there, and so Sean is going to make a great album. I feel like every time he drops a new album, you can hear the growth, you can hear the progression with his career. I mean, just listen to his first album, Finally Famous, up until now, and you can see that he's gotten more conceptual. He's gotten better as an MC. He picks beats that fit for what he's going for. So you can say whatever you want about Big Sean, but you cannot say that he is not doing what he needs to be doing in his career. And I'm looking forward to I Decided. The next album on my list is on here because it drops officially on February 3rd, but it unfortunately leaked about 2 weeks ago. That album is Sampha's Process. I've already done a review, so if you want to know more about the album, I'll include that review in the description section. But man, this is a wonderful album. It's great. One of my favorite albums so far, and one that I can honestly see lasting throughout the year with all the releases that are coming out. You got so many people that will end up coming out, and I think Sampha stands to be like in the top 10, top 15 at best. For the next release, this one doesn't have a release date. All we know is it's coming in February. At one point, it was February 3rd, but with 2 days left, no cover, no track list, no official tweets from anybody in TDE, it's safe to say that SZA's Control is not coming out this Friday. If it does, I will be very, very surprised, because that would be one of the worst, promo campaigns that TDE has ever done, and TDE has a history of bad promo campaigns. Anyways, I was reading something on Billboard with SZA where she talked about improvements for the album. One thing was she never really listened to her own music, and so she did get the chance to actually listen to it. She said her voice was real quiet and it kind of lacked emotion. And so she wanted to make sure that she rectified that on this upcoming album. And I think it's going to be interesting to hear what she's able to do. Like, she's adding more emotion and letting go and just, using her voice to her advantage. And the other thing that, caught my attention from that Billboard article was her meeting with Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin is a genius. His accomplishments speak for themselves. And so whenever he gives you advice, you're going to want to listen to it. And so he told SZA that, in a way, less is more. That you don't need more reverb, you don't need more background vocals. If you strip some of that stuff away, it allows for what you do have to grow and sound beautiful. And so I think that this album, Control, is going to be a lot more minimal than her past work. Overall, though, I am very excited. Like, just hearing that she understands what she wants to do, all the growth that she's going to display on this album, I'm very excited to hear it. I don't know when it's coming out officially, but I hope it's sooner than later. The last two albums on the list both drop on February 10th, and we'll start off with Fat Joe and Remy Ma's Plata O Plomo, Silver or Lead, Money or Bullets. That is a great title. I love it, and I think this album is going to be good. This album is going to be surprising for a lot of people that might not expect something out of Fat Joe and Remy Ma. Like, they've had the big single All the Way Up. They've had a couple other songs, Money Showers, that were good records. But I think as a whole body of work, you're really going to see the chemistry that these two have. The chemistry that they've built up for over a decade. They've been working together for, 15 plus years now? And I think that is going to really motivate both of them. I think Remy Ma is going to shine a little bit more because she is more lyrical than Fat Joe, at least in this day and age. You can hear it on records like All the Way Up, and even the remix where Remy Ma just scorched that. So I think the album is going to be really good, and I'm looking forward to it. The only thing that I ever had bad to say about it, or bad about the campaign, was that they kind of, took a while, as opposed to putting it out when All the Way Up was red hot. So I don't know how that's going to affect sales, people listening, but I hope not too much. I hope that this album is good enough that people want to tweet about it, want to share it, want to talk about it, and it spreads and everybody is happy, and Fat Joe and Remy Ma get the credit that they deserve for this album. The final album on the list is Lupe Fiasco's Drogas Light. The first of 3 releases from Lupe this year is going to be one that kind of takes like a pop stance. You hear some of the songs on there, and it's more, I don't want to say it's pop. It's not going to be anything like Lasers. But I think it's going to be less about Lupe saying, I can out-rap everybody in the game, and more about him crafting actual songs that fit within what he talks about. Fits within like his subject matter, but they also have like the potential, say if he was still attached to Atlantic Records, that these songs could be pushed to radio. If that makes sense. And so I think that's where the album is going to go. And he's got a couple good singles out. I listened to Tranquilo with Rick Ross and Big Crit. Big Crit did really kill that. And I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of the album. And Lupe Fiasco is just going to have a great 2017. Being able to, finish off your career on a strong point is something that some artists never get. And so I'm glad Lupe is able to take that into his hands. So those are the 5 albums that I wanted to highlight that are coming out in February 2017. For a quick recap, it's Big Sean, I Decided, and Sampha, Process, both dropping on February 3rd. You got Fat Joe and Remy Ma, Plata, O Plomo, and Lupe Fiasco's Drogas Light on February 10th. I'm sure there will be more releases in the month. Obviously, SZA doesn't have a release date, but Control is supposed to come out this month. But like I said, I'm sure there will be more albums surfacing in the next few weeks. Surprise projects, mixtapes, EPs. Who knows? But regardless, February looks to be a great month. Let me know which albums you're most anticipating for February. Which ones off of my list strike your interest the most? Let me know in the comment section below. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter @SermonsDomain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.